but he ain't listen to me, but he ain't listen to me, but he ain't listen to me. I tried to talk to him. He ain't listen to me, but he ain't listen to me, but he ain't listen to me, but he ain't listen to me.
What up, though? It's your boy. Go on, see Spaceship Aways the Incredible back with another edition of In This Corner. Pro Wrestling with a Kick, man. Speaking on Raw, the last Raw of the year, the last Raw on USA Network. It has been, wrestling has been on the USA Network since I was a kid. I remember watching primetime wrestling with Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan when I was a kid, before Raw actually took fruition. So it's bittersweet. I don't have a Netflix account yet. I gotta get one. I gotta find one. Oh, Jesus. And so we still gonna do this. I'm gonna figure it out. I got backup plans if I need it. But we're here to talk about Raw tonight. Pretty good show. Tonight's Raw felt like the developmental league tonight. Raw felt like the next step after NXT. It opened my eyes tonight to say, okay, this is where they want people to learn. And I understand that, for the longest, SmackDown was that one that a lot of the heavy hitters, they had the bloodline. And Raw's had some wrestlers, but they've had injuries, and in particular, let me say, the women's division. I didn't like the women's Intercontinental tournament compared to the U.S. women's tournament, but after tonight, I said, oh, they're giving these women an opportunity to build themselves. And so I was really excited about it. There's some good things that happened tonight. Make sure y'all share the show. Shout out to everybody who hits us up on the Instagram. Shout out to everybody who hits us up on the YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe. Let's see here. So, I was in bed because my sleep has been all off here. I didn't go to bed until 11 o'clock this morning. I went to sleep last night after we finished the countdown. Shout out to Jay Diggs once again for my phone is so weird. But I went to sleep and then I woke up about 1 o'clock and I just couldn't go back to sleep. So I didn't go back to sleep until 11 o'clock this morning. So my sleep has been off and I was out of meds. And so once I finally got my meds, or even before then, I finally was able to get about an hour, 2 hours of sleep. So hopefully tonight I'll be able to sleep a little bit longer and be able to get back on pace. Because right now my sleep schedule is all off. So let's go ahead. Let's discuss this Raw. And we started. They was from Houston. I was like, oh, I didn't know they were in Houston. I wouldn't have been able to go no way, but I know coming up, I think on the 20th of January, they're supposed to be coming to Dallas, but I probably won't go. I'm not tripping about going right now. But we'll see how that goes. But New Day started out the show, and they still getting booed, baby. They still getting booed. It's still juicy boos too. And some of it, they're conjuring up views. They know how to. As long as I say a word, they're gonna boo me. Or if I ask, "Why are you booing me?" They're gonna boo me louder. But they came out. They came out to their music, the old New Day music. And I still am one that says they haven't got the new music ready yet. So I think coming out to this was pretty good. And so from there, they were able to cut the music off. And then Jey Uso comes out. And Jey Uso is trying to give them a chance to talk. And they didn't talk. Jay finally, he kind of punked him. And, the Uso New Day feud has always been a thing. So that was good to see. Oh, excuse me on that, y'all. There we go. Give me 1 second, beautiful people. And so they get out the ring, and Jey Uso calls out Drew McIntyre. And eventually, Drew comes, jumps Dre from behind, and he tries to hit a Claymore, gets super kicked. And I like how they're keeping this Drew thing going, right? They're keeping this Drew against the bloodline thing, and I think this is very important because since Clash of the Castle, when he fought Roman and he lost, he really didn't get his revenge. So to have him now, getting the revenge on them, and I'm thinking it may lead up to a Roman Drew McIntyre match at WrestleMania. And I want Drew to win. I do. I think Drew needs to win. Drew needs to beat Roman. Once Roman beats Solo, he's going to be the tribal chief anyway, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. Sorry, y'all. I got something flying in front of me. And I don't know where it came from. But we're going to get rid of that thing. Right? Jey Uso came down. He called out the bloodline. Solo responds on the big camera. And you kind of knew somebody was going to come behind Jey and jump him. I thought it might be the bloodline, but it was Drew. He leaves the ring. He comes back in the ring when Jay's down and does hit the Claymore. So, and Drew felt like he didn't know what to do after that. I don't think he was getting the boos that he desired. People like Drew. I like Drew. I think this is going to make Drew a bigger face when he does turn face again. Then you had your American-made interview. You're going to have Chad Gable versus Otis finally closing this chapter out, or so we think. And they said at the end, I guess they got a new slogan. We're not American, but we weren't born. We weren't bred. We were made, or something. Something like that. Right? And so that's their new slogan. They were made. And so you had your Otis and Chad Gable match, and it was just so much interference. So much interference. Like, when are they going to get disqualified? When is somebody going to come in here and stop them? Right? They beat up Tozawa. Maxine jumped in it. They beat up Maxine. Ivy now grabbed Otis' leg. And it was funny because there was one time when Otis had Gable in the ankle lock. Gable should not have been able to move. But they're best friends in real life. So he's going to make sure he looks good. Chad Gable hit an amazing deadlift German on Otis. Chad Gable has so much power and so much strength. He's so technically sound. But he ended up making Otis tap out. He grapevine the leg, dropped to the ground, and Otis tapped out to the ankle lock. Then you had your Rhea and Liv segment. This I thought about this while this segment was going on. They've been doing this for 8 months, a little bit longer, because of course Rhea is the catalyst for Liv's revenge tour and her getting hurt or whatever. But this program has been going for 8 months. It has to end, and that was their slogan for this segment, right? This has to end, and I'm like, yes, it does. What's going to be next? I really like a EO Rhea match would be nice for WrestleMania. I don't, we've heard Bianca, not sure. We've heard Charlotte, don't really want that. So I would either say EO Sky or even a Jordan Grace. If Jordan Grace can come to the Royal Rumble, and, I'm always thinking about stuff that's never been done before. WWE, we always want to try to see something that has never been done before. If somebody comes on their first night and wins the Royal Rumble, that would be amazing. Jordan Grace versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, I'll take that. If not her, I say Io. Okay? Because there's nobody else on the Raw roster that can fool with Rhea. Raquel can't light a candle. I don't want to see Raquel and Rhea at WrestleMania because that's going to keep this whole Judgment Day feud going. Give me somebody new. Let Jordan Grace win. Let her come. Nobody else really needs to win the Rumble. Then you have the Judgment Day segment. And I like the slogan, when you listen to Finn, we win. And after Judgment Day left or was leaving, Finn was talking to Raquel, because nobody's talked to Liv. She's been training and preparing for this match. He wished her the best of luck. So we're going to see how that goes. Finn is still fighting with Priest. Still don't like Priest. Still hurt Priest. Within their 6-man tag team match, they lost, but he still got his heat back at the end of the match. So we'll see. Truth versus Pete Dunne never happened. There were a lot of matches or set up for matches tonight. I don't know if they just getting ready for Netflix, but there was a lot. So Pete Dunne jumps to Truth as he's coming to the ring. So that match never even happened because, Truth keeps calling him Butch. And he don't like being called Butch. Then you had Damage Control. Dakota wants to knock Zoe out the tournament. And eventually that she wants her and Io to face each other in the finals. I think if they do face each other in the finals, Dakota's going to turn heel. Right? But she's not. So we're going to get to that. You have the 6-man tag team match, JD and the Priest versus the War Raiders. It's a pretty good match. They're trying to get the War Raiders over as faces now. They just don't connect. They got some good power moves. But I just think they have an identity crisis, man. And maybe stand with Priest or somebody to tag along. I think that would help them. What's good, my baby? How you feeling? But Damian Priest does win with the South of Heaven. But then Judgment Day and more importantly, Finn Balor goes after Damian Priest's knee after the match, tells him it's not over. So they're not going to fight next week, but I think they just have to have a blowout. Maybe Saturday Night's Main Event that's coming up in January. We have to finish that. And I think they're doing this because they don't know what's next. We got to talk. That's a bet. And then Ludwig Kaiser introduces himself. At first, I thought he was going to introduce Gunther, right? And I'm like, Gunther don't have a challenger right now either. And this is what made me think about even with the Finn and Damian Priest, because they can't go back to Priest and Gunther. They can't really go back to Finn and Gunther. They have to wait till this Seth Rollins and CM Punk thing kind of end. Bronson Reed's hurt. So they don't have anybody to face Gunther right now, which also made me believe maybe they are going to wait for Cena. Ooh. Cena and Jordan Grace might be my two right now winning the Royal Rumble right now. I'm going to have to come back to this video after the Royal Rumble and see, right? John Cena and Jordan Grace right now are my two favorites to win the Royal Rumble. Sheamus comes out, him and Ludwig fight. And so with Raw, you have a lot of action, but you're getting a lot of repeat feuds. It's like it's in a holding pattern. And I think, with Royal Rumble being in February this year, Saturday Night Main Event, the move to Netflix and all this, they can't really start new feuds, I guess. That it's the end of the year. It's a slow time right now anyway. People are with their families. So I think it's just, a slow thing. Then you had Ray talking to Otis, telling him he's going to get him next time, trying to be yay. And New Day comes, talks their shit again. And then Ray pretty much challenges them. Now, I did notice they said Zelina Vega was hurt, but she was out there. And once again, she know how to fuck up a wet dream, don't she? I'm just not a Zelina Vega fan. I am not a Zelina Vega fan. But they say she's hurt, but she was still out there. And Ray challenges them. And what got me, they were like, who you going to pick? Him? Him with the hat? Him without the hat? Him with the mask? Boy, you better be careful before he get Penta. And Penta going to fuck y'all up. I think the New Day needs some wins. They may not. They may not necessarily need wins because they're going to keep their heat regardless because of Big E. But I'm thinking, what if they get Penta? What if they get Penta? That's going to be very, very interesting. You had Io versus Lyra Valkyria. And right here, I thought Io was going to win. To set up the Dakota Kai Io finals. But Lyra won. And they brought up that they fought, I think, 3 times. Io's won 2, Lyra won 1. And this was a good match. And, you see a match and you're not sure. Right? I'm not sure if it's a good match. To me, it might be a good match. And there's just certain matches that give me an interest and give me a feeling about it. But then the crowd started hitting with the "This is awesome" chants, and I was like, okay, they feel like I feel. There was a lot of good counters. There was a lot of good moves, and I kind of felt like this was going to happen anyway because of such a Mercedes Moné and Chris Statlander had such an excellent match on Saturday at AEW. So I felt like WWE is always going to try to backdoor them, right? And this was the main event match of the night, and so this was an awesome match. You had moonsaults, you had roll-ups, you had hard hits, you had a lot of things off the top rope, and this is also the match where I said there is good. And this and with the Zoe Starks and Dakota Kai, I like that they're building up these ladies. If they continue to build up these ladies, we'll be good. But you cannot have these ladies on here and it's always 50-50 booking on the women's side because you don't know who to push. You have to figure out Lyra Valkyria is somebody good you can push. Zoe might be good. I'm always been a Shayna Baszler fan. I don't know why Shayna's not getting pushed, maybe because of her age. Sonya Deville, I'm not too high on. But Nikki Cross, don't know why they not, I know she's with the Y6, but she's been amazing. You got Alexa Bliss coming back soon, hopefully. And so I was really impressed. I said Lyra should have a good 2025. She is one that I think is going to have a very good 2025 if they push her correctly, if they push her the right way. And she wins with a roll-up. She beats Io. So next, I don't know if it's next week. I'm not sure. I didn't even realize if it's next week or not. You're going to have Dakota Kai versus Lyra Valkyria in the finals for the Intercontinental title. And I don't know who's going to win. I want to say Dakota. Dakota's growing on me. Now, the other day in my wrestling group, shout out BWF, excuse me. They said, what's the worst finishing move? And at first I was going to say the Playmaker by MVP. But Dakota Kai finisher today looked horrible. It was garbage. It looked like my least favorite finishing move. Like the GTS to the kick, it didn't connect. She won with it, but it didn't connect the way I wanted it to. But Dakota Kai won, and right now I'm going to say Dakota Kai is going to be the first Intercontinental champion, which is going to be interesting. I like that. And then finally you had the Seth and CM Punk face-off. And to me, this felt like Seth was saying a lot of things that everybody else was saying, and Punk was able to get his stuff off too. And I liked it because it was heartfelt. It didn't seem forced. It didn't seem scripted, but it seemed like this is how we feel, yo. And both of them make very strong points. Seth is coming off a little bit as a whiner. But I'm like, Seth, you got this is going to be a great match next week, and they're main eventing. So this is going to be awesome. But, now hearing Punk, and I get what Seth's saying. When you left, you tried to break us. It's like a breakup, right? When you left, you tried to dog the WWE. You didn't dog Vince McMahon. You didn't dog the doctors as much, right? You tried to dog the whole company. You tried to bring the whole company down. You went to the other company. That didn't work out. Then you came back to me. Kind of like a relationship, don't it? Don't it? So next week is going to be very interesting. I don't think it's going to be a clean finish for the first match. I think that they going to figure this out. And we may get a triple threat match for the Royal Rumble. Who knows? But it was very strong. They didn't fight. They didn't come to blows, but they talked to each other about how they felt. They sold. What up, Big John? Y'all make sure y'all go hit the link right there. Go ahead. Y'all see it? Hit the link. You need some party complaining events? I like my brother Big John, the fourth baby. And so it was one of those things where it made you want to see this match. It brought some heat back, which is going to be good. I think the Netflix next week is going to be an amazing 3-hour show. It's going to be a pay-per-view show. Also, Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre is going to fight next week as well. So that lineup is going to be ridiculous next week. I'm going to go back and give this show 3 ships. I think it was pretty good. I think the wrestling was pretty good. The crowd was but that's Houston. Fuck Houston. But the crowd was pretty good. Once again, you got your 4 matches. Your 4 matches was good. We set up the final to the Intercontinental title. We cleared up the Gable and Otis. Then we had who else fought? The Judgment Day and War Raiders and pre-stuff. It is what it is. They need some more heels, big heels. So a lot of people gonna have to move over to Raw because you're top heavy. You got Drew, Punk, Seth, Sammy, Jay, Priest, Gunther, Sheamus. But your middle card and your lower card, I think it needs some work. And I think besides Gunther and Drew, you don't have that Judgment Day faction is just, they're old now. They're stale. They're dying out. They're withering. So something's going to have to be rejuvenated with them. And so, we're going to see what it says. 3 ships for the night. Pretty dope show though. I'm down for it. It's almost WrestleMania season. I'm not saying it's WrestleMania season. It's not WrestleMania season until after the Royal Rumble for me, right? Some people say, "Oh, it's January, it's Royal Rumble season." No, not for me. Not for me. After the Royal Rumble. But y'all have a very happy New Year. Y'all make sure y'all check us out this Thursday for DWildOut Radio Thursday Night House Party. First show of the year. We're gonna get this thing popping. I love y'all so much. Y'all are so amazing. Y'all are so incredible to me. I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate y'all tuned in. I'll see y'all next week when we talk about some more Raw. This has been In This Corner, Last Ship Standing, Pro Wrestling with a Kick. It's your boy Spaceship Awaits, the incredible DWildOut Radio, man. I love y'all so much, and as always, peace.
But he ain't listen to me. But he ain't listen to me. But he ain't listen to me. I tried to talk to him. But he ain't listen to me. 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 Try.